There's some lovely yellow flowers along here, wildflowers. I don't know what they are. They're absolutely gorgeous. Good afternoon, it's Thursday 6th of April, it's just 1:30. I've come up the lakes for a spot of carp fishing today. As you know, I've been match fishing recently and helping out up here to turn the fishery around, and with some maintenance work and some stocking and one thing and another. But I fancy coming out and doing some carp fishing because I haven't been out. I rarely got out last year. And when I did, I didn't bother filming, but I thought I would this year. Although it's been raining a lot today and we've had an awful lot of water coming in, the lake has actually cleared a little bit, and we've got more showers threatening this afternoon, hence why I'm in the waterproofs, just in case. I see some rather black clouds over there, but I'll just put the camera in my rucksack if it gets too much. But I've had a good look round both lakes. I saw a little bit of bubbling on the bottom lake and I almost fancied fishing there, but then I came up here and I saw a carp move out on one of the swims a bit further up, so I'm going to give that a go. I'm going to start there, see how we get on, and then I'll do what I always do. If I don't do any good but I see something else, I'll move. Even if I don't see something else and I don't do any good after a couple of hours, I'll probably move anyway. The wind's pushing down against the dam wall and into that corner, but I don't think it's going to push the fish down that way at the moment. I think they'll want to be in a slightly shallower water, about midway on the lake, where they feel a little bit more comfortable. Anyway, we'll go and set up and we'll see. There's some algae coming up off the bottom here. It's floating up off the bottom of the lake bed, comes to the surface and then travels along. But in it, it often contains lots of bloodworm and things like that. And as it travels along, the bloodworm rain back down. And carp particularly enjoy that, along with a lot of other fish. Had a little shin up the tree earlier on my way round the lake. And I climbed up onto that branch over there and I was looking down into the water and I saw one move out from here, so that's why I fancied this particular spot. Anyway, better get sorted. I've only got the one rod with me today. I'm just travelling light today. I'll probably come up and have a full day sometime, and certainly when I go to some of the other lakes that I fish, I'll probably take both rods with me, but just as an exploratory trip today, I thought it'd be easier with one rod. I can move around over the next couple of hours if I'm unsuccessful. Or even if I'm successful here and then I want to try another part of the lake, I can. A few spots of rain coming down, black clouds coming over, but that was forecast. Right, so a 2.5 pound test curve rod, 10,000 class reel, loaded up with 12 pound line. I'm on 1 ounce, no, 1.5 ounce running lead, because there's no fixed leads here at all. But I've never found it makes any difference. My fishing over here, I've caught plenty of carp using running leads. I don't find it detrimental at all. That's to coated hook length down to a size 12, or the largest you can have on here. And on here I'm going to fish a pellet, and I'm going to be fishing over some pellets. Get the net set up first. Sometimes you do get fish straight away, and like everybody, you only ever get caught out once without having your net set up. So it's only a shower. I can see some brighter sky in the background that will it'll pass over shortly. A little 4mm pellet, so I'm only firing in about 10-15 at a time. As I said, just to create a noise. If I don't do any good on the pellet, I've got a range of fake boilies with me, so I'll probably fish with one of those. I've been using them when I've been carping on the canal the last couple of years, and I found them really good. The reason why I swapped over to them was I was getting fed up with the crayfish chewing my baits overnight on the canal. And I use a lot of other plastic baits, so I thought, why not give these a try? These are just a soft 10mm pellet that I bought, and I soaked them in water for a bit to make them even softer so they go on the hook ever so easy. When you haven't been for a while, it's amazing how out of practice you get. Right, little light back lead. Only need a little underhand flick here, hopefully, without hooking the branches. Got a little flat bottom back lead on here, and I tend to use these days. They're a bit like the plummets that pole anglers use. They don't sink into the silt so easy. Most important, make sure that bait runs on and slack. Right. Break a couple of these up and put these round. Rain's coming down now. Come on, pass over. Carp do love pellets on here, but then again, an awful lot of the matchmen fish with pellets on here, or used to, so they're often attracted by the noise of them going in. The wind's just coming, it's not blowing down the lake, it's just slightly coming from right to left and into this bit of bank here. I think that's why I saw that fish here earlier. But I didn't spook it, it just ambled off. This lake's got a very silty bottom on it. Well, both lakes have actually, and that's one of the biggest problems. Whilst I don't like to criticise other people, but I come across people that they've been here most of the day, and when I said, have you had anything, they've said no, and either they're in the wrong place, or when I've got talking to them, they're like using a 3-ounce lead and a very short hook link. And of course what happens is the lead just plugs into the silt, disappears into the silt and pulls the hook link down with it, and half the time the fish can't find the bait. When I say to them, try using a lighter lead and then a bit of a longer hook length, quite often I've come back past them a bit later and they've gone, yeah, I've had one, that's worked, you know. It's always pleasing seeing other people catch fish. So as I said, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep building up the swim every 5 minutes, putting another 10 to 15, as I said, little 4mm pellets in. So it's making some noise and it's building a little bed up on the bottom. And we'll see how we get on. By about 2 o'clock, I should think I'll have an idea whether I'm actually going to catch anything from this swim or whether I'm wasting my time and I need to perhaps go and look elsewhere. But I'll keep my eye on the lake, see if I do see anything lump out. I went over to Jubilee Pools, when was it? What's today? Thursday? Tuesday, to collect my ticket for over there. And while I was walking around Jubilee Pools, it was really warm on Tuesday. Sun was out, it was ever so bright. And I come round one part of the lake, one corner where it was all quiet water and that, and all of the carp were basking, you know, up on the surface. And then of course I went round the rest of the lake and most of the carp anglers there hadn't had anything at all, not so much as a nibble. And I thought, I'm not surprised, it's just, you get that this time of year sometimes, where you get those couple of days like that and the fish come up and they don't actually do anything. Later on, they'd have gone down and fed. This would have been, I should imagine, about this time of the afternoon. But I should imagine, you know, towards evening time, they'd have gone down and fed and people would have started catching if they'd stayed on. These pellets are dry, but I've tried them in the tried and trusty tank at home, in cold water and in warm water, and also in a tub when I've been over here fishing a match or pleasure fishing. And it's amazing, with being in the water only about 2 minutes, they soften up ever so quick. It only takes about 2 minutes before they've softened up. Most match anglers tend to pre-soak their pellets when they arrive and start getting set up in their swim for fishing on the method feeder and one thing or another. But for firing out, I always find it's best to keep the pellets hard, and as I said, they soften up and break down ever so quick anyway in the water. Well, the sun's come out now, it's absolutely beautiful. Wind's just changed direction slightly though, it's not so much coming in now, it's actually coming a little bit more behind me. But it's really warm. Last couple of weeks of being on the matches here, the people have actually started hooking carp when they've been match fishing over here. They're on the move much earlier than they were last year. Last year they never got going till about May. But that doesn't mean I'm going to catch one, does it? But we're hopeful. If I've got it right, should do. If not, anyway, as I said, I'll move if I've made a mistake. I don't really want to get back up the tree because I don't want to make too much disturbance now, having seen that one there, but I'm hoping with a bit of continued feeding, whatever was there or anything else that comes round will settle down a little bit. I'm just going to take a look a couple of platforms up because I've just seen one jump out there twice. Here we go. Oh no, it's a I think it's a bream. Unbelievable. I thought we were in then. I've just gone up to that other swim to drop a bit of bait in, and because I've just seen a fish lump out there twice. Well, if the bream are here, it's a hybrid actually, it's a nice hybrid. Bait's working anyway. How have you got that stuck in like that? Right. Nice hybrid. Only a pound or so. Lovely fish. Slipping back. Well, I should think if there's a hybrid there, there's no carp there at the moment. So I might move up to the other swim where I've just seen that one jump out, put a bit more bait in here and then come back to this. Right. I've moved down to the other swim a moment where I've seen that one lump out. I've come up with a bit of bait in. I put a bit more bait in that swim before I left, but as I've caught the hybrid there, and as I said, that tells me there's no carping, because the carp always push the bream and the hybrids out. That pellet should be fine. So we'll have half an hour to an hour down here. And hopefully we wouldn't be too long getting a bite with that fish feeding. From brilliant sunshine to rain and hail. British weather, eh? Oh, and here we have a carp. Unfortunately, I missed the take. On the camera. It was pretty lethargic when I first hooked it, and then of course did its usual. When it came in, it livened up quite a bit. Let's cut that over a moment, get this out of the way. Nice common. Yeah, unfortunately it went off. I hadn't got the camera on and the camera was too far to run away to switch it on. Otherwise it'd have been in the bushes. Oh, wish you'd calm down a bit. There we are. Hold still. Come on. There we go. First common of 2023. Not massive, but I'm quite happy with that. Very pleased. I saw the fish jump out, moved on to it, and here we are, we've got one. I'll give that away and then I'll put it back. The bailiff's just been round, or one of the bailiffs should I say. And I was just having a chat with them a moment ago. Wind keeps changing direction slightly. 1 minute it's coming from the right to left and but coming into the bank, and then the next minute it's pushing out away from it. Anyway, the rod's back in. Put a few more pellets around there. 4 more little half pellets. And the pellets that I'm using, because they're so soft, I can just break them in half, and I've put them in. That fish that had come out coughed up some of the ones that I'd put in, so it obviously enjoyed them. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day at that. I'm going to pack up, head home, get some tea. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, all the best with your angling.